Tonight, I shall speak of 6 teenagers whose tales ended abruptly on a roller coaster in a small, dying town in the middle of nowhere. The former St. Cassian Chamber Choir, who on Monday, September 14th, 2009, would board the Cyclone roller coaster at 8:17 p.m. At 8:18, this same roller coaster's front axle would break, causing it to derail at the apex of the loop-de-loop, hurtling the children to their deaths.
Hello, this is Alistair Newton, and I'm speaking with Jacob Richmond, Artistic Director of Victoria's Atomic Vaudeville, and the co-creator of Ride The Cyclone, which goes into previews on November 10th at Theatre Passe Muraille as a co-production with Acting Upstage. And for people who missed it when it was at SummerWorks, can you just describe the plot, a little bit of it?
It takes place in Uranium City, Saskatchewan, and a dilapidated carnival comes to town. Which reflects the kind of poverty of the community, and they have this big roller coaster that derails and it kills a choir. And so essentially a penitent fortune telling machine brings them back to life to sing their final song.
Did it surprise you, just given sort of how subversive the piece is, that it's had this very sort of mass appeal to, very wide demographics of audience?
It's been very nice in terms of just different communities we've gone to. Yeah. Like there was that hiccup in Vernon, but
So that you played the piece in Vernon, BC?
Yeah, and they marketed it as, if you love Forever Plaid, come see Ride The Cyclone. And so they sold it to church groups. And so as soon as Noel kind of got into his lingerie and started singing about being a prostitute in France. There was like this
mass exodus.
Yeah.
One of the things that I've always loved about Atomic Vaudeville is the placement of sort of queerness as this kind of transgression. Being inside the show, and you're sort of playing a queer character,
yeah.
Where do you think that sits, like in terms of like the sort of transgressive role that kind of queerdom plays in the work?
Well, I mean, with the show itself, it sort of acknowledges some of those things that we have an assumption that all gay people want to be accepted, all gay people want this, all gay people want that. And in reality, we're all unique individuals who actually have our own desires and our own wants, and the things that we all need from life are completely different. Yes, we are a community, and yes, we're in need of support, but also Noel's kind of support was actually that he wanted to suffer.
This is the character that you play in the show?
Yeah, Noel Gruber is the character. So he actually sort of wanted people to be challenged. He wanted to challenge people and be challenged himself.
Right, and there is sort of a pathos underneath the show. It's just a very sort of, a broad comedy and very funny, but there also is sort of this kind of underlining pathos that runs underneath the show. Have you found people have been connecting to that as well? Like they're really getting the kind of the heart and the guts behind it as well?
I think the moment in the show where that drops the very most is approaching the end, and I don't want to give too many spoilers away, but I think that the ball really drops when Constance's monologue ensues. That's Kelly Hudson's character, Constance Blackwood. I think she, the most of all of us, embodies that small town feel, and I think that's really when it hits. And it hits so hard at the end because you've spent the whole time in this kind of whirlwind land of comedy and kind of oddball antics, and then all of a sudden it drops.
You are A-N-I-U-N, where my heart goes now and then. Oh, how I love you. Uranium, that's our town, our friendly town. That's our town, our highway town.
What do you sort of attribute the success of this particular piece? Like why this show at this time with sort of all the success?
I think it really has been a culmination of a lot of the stuff we've been playing with Atomic Vaudeville, and then kind of like sculpting that into a piece which actually has kind of an arc to it. I think that the piece is very satisfying for people in terms of, and the funny thing is audience members all take away something different on the context. Some people think it's just hysterical, and some people just kind of go, that was the most depressing, tragic story ever, right? Like, so you can interpret it both ways, like both hold up, so to speak. Yeah.
And there is real like emotional weight underneath it. It's
Yeah.
sort of very broad and hilarious, but
Yeah, exactly. But they do all kind of, you know, like, and that's once again going back to Brooke and myself, like just really making sure that there was an iceberg to each character, right? You know, like that they did have deeper roots than just one-liner.
Well, I wish you success.
No, thank you so much, Al.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, thanks.